Okay, y'all, April reading wrap up. I finished 22 audiobooks. Let's see how fast I can get through this. So Rebecca Quinn has these short novellas on her site, Day Death from Jacob's perspective, Dominant's perspective, and Free Fall, all from the perspective of before everything went to hell. Very sexy little escapades, got my mouth watering. Book 3 can come on anytime now. Sweet Like Sundays by Danielle Brooks, narrated by Wesley Chabon and Winston James. Y'all, this is the sweetest contemporary romance. These two are neighbors who have each inherited their ancestors' property, and neighbors to lovers to small town. The chemistry is slow burn, but this was absolutely adorable. The Hills of Shivers and Shadows by Pam Godwin, narrated by Stella Hunter and Jack Hesperus. Amazing narration. Old girl gets kidnapped by this crazy guy, taken to this remote island in Alaska, where 3 of his sons also are on that island who have never left that place. Check all your trigger warnings. This is a fucked up story. Hold on. It's book 1 of 3. Nothing is what you think it is. My God. What a Match by Mimi Grace. This is book 2 in her series, narrated by Miles Washington and Hazel Addison. Gwen is a total type A, ready to settle down, have a relationship. She ends up going to a professional matchmaker. Meanwhile, her brother's best friend's place catches on fire. He needs a place to stay, comes to stay with her. This was an easy read that had good chemistry, sweet and sexy. I loved it. Toxic by Nicole Blanchard, narrated by Aiden Snow and Michelle Sparks. Check your trigger warnings. Old girl is a nurse at the prison. Her husband is the warden of the prison. Everybody and their grandmama kicks this girl's ass 6 ways to Sunday for the first 75% of this book. The prisoner uses her to escape. They somehow fall in love. Under the Influence by Kimberly Brown, narrated by Tony Roberts and Elise Anthony. This is Elena's and Maeli. They had a thing when they were kids in high school. He did her dirty. Fast forward, he is now a professional football player, and she is a PR rep, and he needs her help. So you got workplace, you got a little bit of enemies to lovers. It's against the rules. I loved everything about this. France Return by Mia Sheridan, narrated by Virginia Rose, with a tinge of Jacob Morgan. This is romantic suspense. She is his father's nurse. Grayson and his father are estranged. Her dead husband had a past that comes back to get her, or tried to. This was a nice palate cleanser. King by S.J. Tilley, narrated by Chloe Ryan and Jack Callahan. This is book 2. Savannah is unknowingly dating a married man. He happens to be the husband of King's sister. When she walks in and finds King handling business permanently, you know the old saying, snitches get dicks. The narration choices didn't quite match the energy of the characters. While I enjoyed it, it was probably better as an eyeball read. Christmas War Pause by Therese Clark, narrated by Lacey Laurel and Winston James. This was a short, cute little holiday-ish book. Enemies to lovers. They have had beef since they were kids. She's best friends with his sister. He's the small town vet. It's set in Ohio. This was absolutely adorable. Love on the Highlight Reel by Christina C. Jones, narrated by J. Shani Michaels and Winston James. This is Jordan and Nicole. They used to date before he went pro, and shit happened. Years later, he's looking for a ring. He got an ain't shit daddy. She's trying to prove herself to the team and the daddy now that she's on the management side. The way she ran every time she thought she might be in trouble. But it still wasn't angsty. This was a fun ride. Bull Rush by Maggie Rawdon, narrated by Aiden Snow and Elena Wolf. Buckle up, I wasn't ready, y'all. This is a dark Western romance. They're divorced. She has a fiance. He went to prison for accidentally killing somebody. He's also a former NFL player. He gets out of prison. She runs an Airbnb on his family's property. He needs somewhere to stay. Somebody is also after the property. Mystery occurs. It turns into Bonnie and Clyde. Great chemistry. The banter was bantering. The sexy times were sexy. It was busy, but I think I had fun with it. Pity Date and Pity Party by Whitney Deneen, both narrated by Aiden Snow and Desiree Ketchum. These were clean, super sweet contemporary romances, totally character driven. I did videos on them and I absolutely loved them. Fell for the Wrong One by Tay Monet, narrated by Wesley Chabon and Winston James. I love this story. This is Lawson and Zara. She's a twin covering for the other one. Not too angsty, but very swoony. The banter, the way he showed her and their chemistry was so good. This was really just a very sweet, easy, swoony contemporary romance, right? But I do have to say, the sexy times in this book were exceptionally grown. I mean, I don't know that it needed to be that damn nasty. Jessica Cage's I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend and I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. I did a video on the demon boyfriend. So over the top, so freaking sexy and fun. I probably shouldn't have read them back to back, but I did enjoy Hooked Up with a Vampire. That is Whitney and Domino. She's a art broker who loses her job. Domino ain't what he thinks he is. This incorporated more paranormal, exposed us to more paranormal beings, but so realistic. The representation, the authenticity, the funny, the sexy. These are so fun. Mountain Boss by S.J. Tilley, narrated by Connor Crace and Aaron Mallon. I did a video on this. Even though I wanted a little bit more character development, this was a yes for me. Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson, narrated by Patrick Zeller and Allison Ryan. The Murderer on the podcast. I talked about this one as well. A couple of places got far-fetched for me, but this was a page turner, yes. The Accomplice by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, narrated by Aaron Phillip Clark. I did a video on this one. This is the first Black Texas female ranger, and The Thief. This was so good, yes. Stolen Baby by L.G. Davis, narrated by Andy Arndt and Ariel Delisle. Y'all, she been trying to have a baby, couldn't have a baby. Somebody left a baby on the doorstep. Where did the baby come from? Who's the mama? Who's the daddy? What's going on? This book was so wild. About a quarter way through, we added in a different point of view that made things feel a little bit wonky, but I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.